Oh, Opossum, can we just be friends? I'm not here to kill you. Welcome back to the Wasteland. We've got a big beta update for Fallout 76 to talk about. And then also, we're going to be talking about some free stuff for Fallout 76. Also, yes, mentioning free stuff, there was a new interview with Pete Hines, which goes over the Atom Shop. And then also how the post-launch content will be completely free. So we'll be talking about that some more as well. Then going over some top comments, some interesting top comments, some really good tips from you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. But welcome back, my fellow Vault Dwellers and Wasteland Wonders, to Open World Games. I know you guys are totally hyped to get into this beta, but before you do, there's been a very big update. Special thank you to Ken McDowell, who says, "Hiya, bud, just wanted to make sure you're aware there's a very large update for the Fallout 76 beta client on the Xbox. Other platforms may be affected as well. Thanks for your time. This could take you a little bit of a while to download, so check your beta client." I'm talking about actually clicking into it, going into it, and expanding it. Make sure that you are all updated. It would be horrible if your first experience, half of it was spent updating that beta. So, again, every single time this beta ends, remember, Bethesda goes in, they make changes, and then they have to actually update the game, and then you'll be getting an update. So every single time, I'm letting you know, every single time, before the next beta wave hits, go ahead and check for updates. Remember, these are the times. Here's October 30th, November 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Mark them in your heads, and then have the idea that you will be checking your beta client ahead of these times here. So just keep that in mind. Just want to remind you guys of that. I know I've mentioned that before, but it's super important to get in there and check that. I don't want you guys being disappointed by updating your game. All right, let's talk about free stuff. So if you are on PC, check this out. So the Fallout Twitter account says this: "See how it all began. Pre-order Fallout 76 digitally for PC on Bethesda.net and get the Fallout Classic Collection, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics for free." Reminder that the Fallout 76 PC and PS4 beta starts today from 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to include the link here in the description of the video as well, so you guys can read up on it and check it out for yourself. But that's really exciting. I was just talking in our Discord about Fallout Tactics Brotherhood of Steel. There's two games that are similarly named. Remember that. There's the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and then there's Fallout Tactics. Now, Fallout Tactics, I was so addicted to that on PC. Totally worth getting. It was the isometric camera angle. I even created my own custom games with that one. And it also had online. That was one of the Fallout games that had online. It had PvP, and it was quite the experience. I used to play that with my brothers all the time. But yeah, check that out. And let me know if you guys actually revisit Fallout Tactics. Honestly, I would love to see Bethesda make something similar to that in the future. Even if it ended up like on my phone or something. I would love that. But okay, so yeah, let's go into the details about the Atom Shop and then this post-launch content. So this was a new interview again by GameSpot, who interviewed Pete Hines of Bethesda. This is what Pete Hines had to say. "If you don't want to spend money in the Atomic Shop for cosmetic stuff, you don't have to. We give you a crap ton," I can't cuss because of YouTube rules. "We give you a crap ton of atoms just for playing the game. Folks that want to spend money on whatever the heck it is because they don't have enough atoms, they can, but it's not, I'm now better playing against other players because I spent money. It's not pay to win, and it's not loot crates." I've seen a lot of concerns still about that, about microtransactions in this game, simply because it is being offered as a live service experience. Again, the worry is, how big is the grind going to be for these cosmetic items? We'll have to wait and see and find out. We really haven't been exposed to this Atomic Shop yet. I'll get in there and let you guys know my opinions about if it's too grindy or if it is grindy at all. Hopefully it's not. It seems like you get atoms a lot, so you have to pay attention to your challenges, but I was naturally getting atoms as I played the beta. Alright, so next up he says, all the content we ever put out for Fallout 76, all the DLC, all the post-launch stuff is going to be free. That's important. And to say the Atomic Shop is cosmetic stuff, to make sure folks understand. Look, there's a line. There are people who have crossed it, but we're going to stay on the right side of it in terms of the things you could spend money on and how this stuff works and what you're getting for $60. That you know when you put out new content or features or whatever, I'm getting that stuff for free. That feels right. By the way, I wanted to mention special thank you to PollyZ911, I believe it is, who sent me this article. Thank you so much. But totally hyped over here to know that the post-launch content is going to be free and that we will all be able to stay together on this one map, of course. I'm just hoping, you know, I don't really care if they add a brand new map. If they change up the existing map, now that would be cool. That's what I'm crossing my fingers actually happens with this one. Curious to see what happens. But let's move on to the next statement from Pete Hines. Oh wait, actually this is not a statement from Pete Hines. This is a statement from the article that I wanted to highlight here. It says, it appears Bethesda is following the model of games like Overwatch and Fortnite in that it will only allow players to spend real money on cosmetics, not items or abilities that actually affect the game. Now, they mentioned this, I always bring this up. 2017's Battlefront 2 originally featured a microtransaction system that allowed players to spend real money on items and weapons that actually affect the game. Following an uproar, Electronic Arts and developer DICE reversed course, and now the game only lets you buy cosmetics. So you can see how Star Wars Battlefront 2 has influenced a lot of the decisions that developers make now about their live service game, whether or not to include any type of pay-to-win stuff. People are freaked out. But like they said, the good news is Battlefront 2 even, pulled all the microtransaction stuff, and you can only get stuff, I think it's cosmetics for real money, if I recall correctly. But they also added General Grievous recently, which was really cool to see, and it's nice to see that change. I just wanted to mention that real fast. I have gameplay of that in the description below. Then they're going to be adding Geonosis, and they're making some impressive strides with that game and really reversing course, which is nice to see. They even redid the whole progression system as well. But yeah, my brother Ryan has been covering this game extensively. Check it out in the description below if you want to. But it's good to see that Bethesda is very aware of these problems in the industry, and they don't want to take that path. So that is really nice to see. Okay, so let's go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up right here in a video. So let's do this. So the first comment says this from the Bloodweaver, who says, can we just get a backpack? Preferably not through Creation Club. That's a good point. It'd be nice to have some sort of backpack system in Fallout 76. I would love to have that kind of separate from your current inventory system where you could just have a backpack that you could lug around. That'd be very neat. You know, I think also to State of Decay 2, they had a system where you can have items on your person, on yourself, and then you would store stuff in your backpack that you couldn't really, get to and do, the quick swapping stuff. But I think that system could work very well in Fallout 76 as well. Next up, we have, what's it, Seymour Butts? Okay, you got me on that one. He says, what triggers me is when people say this game has no story. Yeah, it's definitely in the background of the game. It's not as prevalent as you would expect in a Fallout game, but there is definitely some story there for sure. And there's been just a lot of hate regarding that. And the holotapes, are actually pretty entertaining. And again, I go back to the whole thing about this game feeling a lot like BioShock more than anything else. And I'm going to stick to that. It really does feel a lot like BioShock and how you hear that holotape. And it's kind of creepy in some ways as well. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's some really good holotapes out there. All right, next one is from, I think it's Ned C, who says, we need more limited, unique boss enemies like the super mutant behemoths in Fallout 3. There are definitely unique enemies in this game. I know that you don't see it in some of my gameplay, but I did stream the game, and there was a legendary ghoul that looked completely different from everyone else. It was like 3 stars, very intimidating and glowing, and had a different skin and everything, and very, very difficult. And then, of course, you got to remember there's your more super legendary enemies, I guess you would dub them, including the Mothman. You have the Flatwoods Monster, and then, of course, your Scorched Beast. So a lot of variety there for sure, and we've only scratched the surface, I believe, of things that are in the game. So I'm excited to see also what happens when we get to the nuclear wasteland, I guess you would call. We're already in Wasteland, but when those nukes go off, they're going to be producing some of their own monsters as well. All right, the next comment comes from Sinister Hand. Hey, he's from our Discord. He says, I'm on the side that loves to just explore and try to survive the struggle. I honestly couldn't give two craps about the story. I know I'm not a part of any majority, but my gripes of the game have nothing to do with the lack of NPCs or story elements. At 310, you pretty well reassure one of my main issues, which is in MMO aspect you go over. Thanks for that. As much as I'd love to go into this game without any skepticism, the community has been so toxic, it's literally impossible not to. I know, you gotta kind of drown out the noise somewhat. And yeah, there's a lot of skepticism, but a lot of concern as well. That's pretty much legit. But there's also a mix of extreme hate with this game as well. And I've seen Pete Hines and the Bethesda team dealing with that too, just because they wanted to try an online game. And I've seen a lot of people that are so thankful to have an online game too. So it's kind of a shame to see such hate in the community. It's in every community, wherever you go, no matter what it is, even outside of gaming. It's just something that exists. So it's something that we all have to deal with. Yeah, I'm super hyped for this game, and I've been having fun just exploring, you know, even though I haven't been paying too much attention to the story, excuse me, there is one, and I agree. Just exploring and surviving has been a blast. But guys, thank you so much for the comments. Also, there was a really good comment here giving some tips. It's from Ms. Medic, who says, I played all 8 hours solo, and I have a few tips for solo players. Gather and scrap everything you see. Keep your camp small and reachable to keep throwing junk in your stash. You'll use it later, and breaking down weapons will teach you new mods. Do the main mission until you get the design for the Tinker's Workbench. Build armor, weapon, and Tinker's Workbench at the camp. Upgrade and repair your armor and weapons every time you fall back to the camp when you drop loot. Tinker's Workbench lets you craft ammo, and it's cheap, but has weight, so don't go crazy. And 4, cook, eat food to recover out of combat. This takes care of hunger and thirst and needs while saving stim packs. And dilute a few of those stim packs at chem stations. They heal less, but you get 2 for 1 when you dilute. That's a very good point, by the way. And he says, don't be afraid to engage higher level enemies. Keep an eye on your health and don't charge in. Take it slow and you'll kill them. Following these steps, I was at level 14 at the end of 3 sessions with 1 death to a level 35 mole miner with a shotgun. I came back and I killed him. I ended with 50 stim packs. Holy crap, man. Tons of ammo and very nice set of modded guns and armor. I was up there with my stim packs. I was up to like 17 at one point. Then I decided to go through solo, and then I started using those stim packs quite a bit. But guys, there are some really cool tips. Those are great tips, by the way. Excellent tips. I do recommend also staying on that main story path for a while, so you can get used to the game. It's really nice. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here to Open World Games for more Fallout 76 and open world gaming goodness. And I will see you guys once again in the Wasteland. Take care.